Welcome to the NBTLT podcast with your guides to this magical journey, Lon and Zumi.
Hey Zumi,
What's up, Lonnie?
how you doing, bud?
Doing alright. How are you?
Pretty good. It's been a whole 2 weeks.
I know. Probably have some some of our audience probably pissed off, right?
Oh, I don't know. Because I don't know who they are. Only one.
We only know one.
Although we did cheat a little bit during that time because we did talk to each other.
Yeah.
But I was just being a pussy and I was really, really tired.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to apologize to them, not me.
I'm not going to apologize, but
It's your
I will
fault,
say,
though.
yeah, I'll accept that. But I'm not going to I'm not going to apologize. I refuse.
It's alright, bud.
But because of that, we actually do have a full gamut of things to talk about.
We do.
I mean,
Are you gonna start by making fun of me?
why? Because of the new Chargers logo?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna stick with them?
No, I'm not. Like I said, I think I'm gonna start rooting for the Vikings. Although
Yeah.
I do have some good news for you. I think you might have gained a partner with my brother. He
Oh,
said he's probably gonna start rooting for the Patriots. So
a bandwagoner. All right.
yeah, I told him like, yeah, I can't root for the Chargers and or the LA Chargers.
Well,
I can't do it.
I don't think they're gonna be in LA that long. I mean, because they're sharing a stadium that's owned by the Rams. That's kind of weird. It's an awkward situation. Although there's been a bunch of moves around the NFL with coaching staff and coordinators and all that. And some teams might actually be good next year that weren't this year because of that. So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see.
I don't think Chargers is gonna be one of them though.
I don't think the Chargers are going to be one of them, but I do think that they're like the Jaguars are actually getting some good coaching staff additions. So that'll be interesting to watch because I don't think their quarterback, Blake Bortles, is a bad quarterback. He's not great, but he might benefit a lot from changes there.
I don't know. Did you see any of the news of all the San Diegans?
San Diegans.
San Diegans? San Diegans?
No.
San Diegans. San Diegans, isn't it?
Which, of course, in German means a whale's vagina.
No, they like a bunch of guys just went out to the Chargers front door and like started burning their like jerseys and posters and
Oh
all
my
that shit.
God.
And
Well,
I'm looking at this and I'm saying like dude, even if I had a jersey, like it's like there's no fucking way I'm burning that jersey. That's a $60 jersey. Like fuck
yeah.
you. Like no. Just
Well,
sell
it's
it. There's probably gonna be a collector, like 50 years down the road, that still believes in the San Diego Chargers.
yeah.
They'll
Well,
probably buy that jersey. So it's like they don't
it's
ever
kind
go
of
bad.
interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because with the San Diego Chargers, they've always kind of been that way, even when they were winning Super Bowls and stuff. I mean, they've always been the way that they are now, like disappointing sometimes.
Winning
Where-
Super Bowls.
Yes, I mean, haven't they won two? I mean, I wish there was a way we could look this up.
There is.
But, yeah,
I don't think they've
let's
ever
see.
won one though. They've
Let's
been
see.
to one and they got their ass
All
kicked.
Super Bowl winners, which is an interesting statistic that happened today with my Patriots. Did you know that Tom Brady has started in 32 playoff games after today? And that's the equivalent of 2 regular seasons. It's pretty crazy. I know you don't care, but it's okay.
Yeah, I really don't.
All right, let's
See,
see.
94. In 94, the Chargers made it to their first and so far only Super Bowl, and they got their ass kicked by the
Oh, okay.
49ers.
Well, even when they were going to I will redact my previous statement and I'll change it.
They've always been a about a 40% team. So
Yeah,
with 40%, you're
it's
you can't even say that you can either win or lose. Most likely you're losing.
well, it's sad because there's been a lot of really, really good players on the Chargers. Through the years. I mean, guys that have been on
Yeah.
Madden covers. Just
See,
really
but
amazing
that's the
athletes.
thing. That's the thing though. Like the Chargers has always been kind of like that bridge for players to move to a better team.
Oh, so they're like the Mariners, but of
Yeah,
football.
yeah, but I'm sick and tired of that shit.
Yeah.
Like anyway. Well, yeah, I won't get into it. It's just this.
Well, it's a weird situation. I honestly don't think they're going to stay there, because I don't see how it could work for very long.
I'd be really pissed though if they move to L.A. and then all of a sudden they have like this amazing fucking team, and you're like, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, that shouldn't make you feel bad. You can be like, I didn't stay with them even when they just, all of a sudden got really good.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just one of those things,
Just think you could always be a Browns fan.
my my dad was actually saying that he might root for the Browns just because they're about as bad as the Chargers. I'm like, why would you even do that to yourself?
They've been to the playoffs.
It's like you go to it from a shitty team to another shitty team. I'm like that's why like I said, that's why I picked the Vikings, because Vikings are kind of like in between. They're not necessarily that great, but they're not that bad either. So they
Well,
won't.
is it next season the Vikings should have their starting quarterback, Bridgewater back,
Yeah.
and he's a pretty decent quarterback. That was a sad story. Before the season even started, he
I know.
got injured, and like there was players on the practice field just crying because they knew. It's just like, oh. And then throughout the year, they had all their problems with their offensive linemen going down, and they had nobody left, which is interesting. And many other people know how much I hate the Seahawks. For a lot of reasons. Because I see a lot of the games. They hold on every play, and they were doing it in this game, and they just bitch and moan when they lose big games like that. Like they will start fights even though the Falcons were like, in victory formation, taking a knee, trying to be respectful and not getting that touchdown that's only a yard away.
Right.
It's like, but they want to. Well, with the Seahawks, like I've said it for a while, they have so much talent on that team, and I really believe that they, have really talented guys on their team, but the problem is their attitude, and the other problem is that you can't keep those guys. So when you do that, when you go out and get a bunch of high-priced talent and stuff, and guys that are gonna get paid,
Right.
You only have a very small window to succeed, and theirs is kind of, dropping off now.
Yeah, maybe I should become a Seahawks fan then, and
Or we could,
that way
if you
we
do
can.
that, we just won't be friends.
We, I was gonna say we can have more interesting discussions. Well,
That wouldn't be discussions; it'd be arguments.
I know. How bad? How much would you hate me if all of a sudden I become like a Seahawks asshole? Like,
Ugh, I don't want to think it.
be like, yeah, dude, like let's not end our friendship. Oh, but so I know. You told me we have new listeners, right?
Yes,
We had
apparently.
a couple of new listeners. So yeah, so for those guys who are actually sharing this, thank you, and remember your orgasms are now 4 times better, and you will never suffer from Mr. Happy not being happy.
Oh yeah, and I hate on the fans out of love, just because I'm just kidding. I don't have a problem with any of you, but I really do appreciate you guys sharing the podcast and doing stuff like that. And I can see when we have new listeners, so I don't know where they're from. I haven't actually looked. We don't pay for a service that shows us where you guys are located. You can always email us and tell us where you are and where you're listening from, and maybe we have some like overseas listeners. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But
it'd be
if we do have like overseas military, thank you for your service. We feel your pain.
Yep. So, we're not a football podcast.
No, we're definitely not a football part. But the Chargers have been this have been like kind of a topic on. And yeah, I this is the voice of a broken heart.
You just gonna call it quits then?
Yeah, I think so. Like or fuck it. Even their logo is so freaking lame, dude. Like the teacher that I saw was like, they were making teachers that said lame on it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. I mean, that's one. That's the best word to describe it. It's pretty freaking lame.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. I saw it yesterday for the first time, and I was like, really? This is what they're gonna go with? Yeah.
One of my friends posted on Facebook. It was really funny. He's like, hey, you there, that you have this, the San Diego Chargers bolt tattooed on your chest for 3 years, thinking about how you're gonna cover it, and then he's like, ... good morning. So funny, dude.
Oh.
But I guess
right.
There's a bunch of people with that though. Like they had the Chargers bolt, and now they're like, they feel betrayed.
Well, yeah. You can say that about a bunch of teams that have moved. But that's the harsh reality of the game. Because sometimes teams have to go where the money is, and sometimes it's for an actual need. Like they're just not getting any money.
Yeah, but the Chargers didn't really need.
No, not necessarily.
The stadium where they in downtown, dude. That would be fucking ludicrous. City had no money, and it's just. Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, I finally saw the This Is It documentary, if you can call it a documentary.
The what documentary?
This Is It.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen it?
I have not. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure.
So
is
for
that
those...
the Justin Bieber documentary?
It's Justin Bieber documentary. I have nothing. I was thinking of a comeback, but no, it's Michael Jackson. So
okay, yes, I know what it is.
So after Michael Jackson passed away, this documentary came out. It's called This Is It, and it was the last concert that he did, or the concert that he did before he died. Yeah. So it was kind of like his comeback tour, and they show from the time they do all the casting, they do some rehearsal, and then how it looked in how the song looked during performance.
Sure.
And I mean, you could tell that he was trying really, really hard to like make a comeback. And there's like a couple of segments where they like make mistakes and stuff, and he's like super chill. He's just like, that's right, it's okay, like this is why we rehearse, so next time we'll just do it this way. And he's like really calm, and then when he's going with like artists, like the person that they're gonna play the piano and all that stuff, he's like with them, how exactly how he wants the beat to go, and how long he's like, no, like make it a little bit longer, gotta feel I'm gonna go like rare. this, like this. And then he's like, yeah, but why? That wouldn't. It's like, no. It's like, it has to be that way because I want the audience to listen to. I wanted for it to sound exactly like they're used to listening to in the record. Yeah. And the guy's just like, oh, okay, Michael. And he's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
then
gonna say no to Michael Jackson?
whenever they made a mistake or they didn't get it, he's like, oh, we'll get there. That was his words, like we'll get there. Like
Well, you gotta.
he never put anybody down. He never got like pissed off. He would just say like, we'll get there.
So he's like the anti Joe Jackson.
Yeah, and I was just it was pretty cool to see because I don't know, I grew up with Michael Jackson's music,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
And the movie Moonwalker.
Of course.
Dude, it's such an awesome movie.
I remember my dad gave us a VHS for Christmas, and it was Michael Jackson, and it had Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh
with
yes,
him.
I've seen this.
Did you see that?
Yes, I've seen this.
We used to play that video every freaking day, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then when This Is It came out, I thought it was just a way for people, for Hollywood to make money, one more time, because Michael had just passed away.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't watch it when it came out.
Well, that's okay. For a long time, I really thought that he had, done stuff with kids. Because it was, you have to admit, it was pretty hard to refute at the time. Because there was some weird stuff going on, but now I have no idea. I really don't, because I've seen those private videos or whatever that they've released, where he's with the Macaulay Culkin and his brother, Rory Culkin.
Yeah.
And they're at the pool or whatever, and the thing about Michael Jackson is that he never got a childhood, right? At all. He was forced into...
Yeah, I guess his dad's since 5, it's
oh yeah,
he cracked the whip. Sing, motherfucker!
Joe Jackson is one evil dude. There's a part of me that's glad he did it, because you wouldn't have all this, good music and stuff, but...
you wouldn't have Thriller.
No. But it's interesting because you see Michael with these other kids, and he's just a kid. You watch him, and if you didn't know who he was, you just think he was some, beg your pardon, he seems kind of like a mentally challenged adult, but intelligent. Yeah. I'm just trying to say that he acts like that, when he's with kids, he's able to.
And I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not judging the guy. I'm judging his talent. So.
Yeah. Well, his talent is, he wasn't even the best singer. He's a really good singer, but he had, these flaws. But the way that he did it, he's the best performer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's really weird that. Did you really need 67 police officers to show up at his doorstep when the whole thing was going on? 67 officers, really?
That's actually a really weird event.
And then,
his whole death.
my thing has always been this: if my kid was molested, and the molester comes in and offers me $10 million, do you think I'm gonna accept that? If I have an inch or an ounce of love towards my kid, do you think I'm gonna accept that? It's no.
No.
I want the guy to go to prison, and I want to pay Bubba to, play medieval on his ass for a couple of years at least.
Yeah. Well,
I would send him a phone to videotape it and then make it public. No, dude, you don't settle. So something sketchy had to go. Because everybody settled, right?
Yeah, and I think that some of those were just taking advantage of his personality.
Exactly, and so I give him the benefit of the doubt. That's where I stand.
That's what I mean. I'm at the point where I say I just don't know. So why not just enjoy?
Except maybe OJ.
Well,
we're not going there.
I'm not going to get into that.
Anyways, changing subject.
Yeah, let's segue into something that's completely different.
Yeah, I know. No, but I if you have a chance, Lonnie, you should definitely watch This Is It. It's really fun to watch. all the cool songs. Like they show like it, like the logistics of it.
Well, I'm
It's a
writing it
lot
down
of
now.
it's a lot of work that these guys put into just like an hour or 2 hour show.
Yeah. I mean
So
that I only know from like the sound guys, like the work that they have to put in, or the lighting. That stuff alone is a lot a lot of work. Just
yeah,
painstaking hours.
yeah, and with this, I mean, he's coordinating everything. Like he's got to know where the fireworks are gonna be at what minute, at what
Hmm.
point, at what, and he's like, at some point, he's like, it's just that silence, and everybody, you hear one guy shout out, it's like, "That was your cue, guys. You should have been appearing dancing now." And then Michael's like, "No, no, no. Like we shouldn't do it this way. Like they should just wait for my cue." And it's like, "No, but it's like the video's going." It's like, "No, no, no. Listen." He's like,
I know what the hell I'm
"It's
talking about.
like
I've been doing this
I
forever.
yeah." He's like, "I come out. The people are gonna be shouting. They're gonna be celebrating. We kind of need a moment in between." Or like that silence, and then I'll give him the cue so that everybody can start going around. And the guy's arguing with him. It's like, yeah, but the video that we're having is like, well, then just make the video go with my cue.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But is he all like all calm and everything about
yeah, he's
all of
really
it?
calm. Like he's like the most that guys got out of him when he seemed irritated. He would just say like let's get it to make it. Oh, let's work it to where it's like I'm saying it needs to be done. And
So
then
he's
that was
so
it.
he's like the John Wick of pop.
Yeah.
uh, okay, well I wrote it down. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
So
So it's I liked it. I really really liked it. I'll probably watch it again just because it's really amazing to watch and still. I mean, he's like what 50 or 60? How old was he? I can't
no,
remember.
no,
Did he?
he's the exact same age as my mom. So he would have been 58 right now.
So, but he died at 50, right? Kind of like Prince.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Prince
and
had a
he's
messed up ending too.
dude. He's like dancing and moving and shit, and you're just like whoa, like this guy's in shape, dude.
You start to feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, a little bit, especially if working for a fitness company.
Well, I have to ask you. I I know this is a bad segue, but I really do have to ask you. Yes, you're highlighting it right now, and I need you to tell me what this Nessy monster story is.
it's it's not a story per se. I'm just I wrote it. I think we had this conversation before, like way back in our Earth Force days, and I think that every guy in the course of his life, yes, from the time he starts having active sex till he dies,
Okay, is this going to take a dark turn?
probably.
Oh, cool. Keep going.
There's gonna be in the in his adventures. There's probably gonna be a Nessie monster among them,
Okay.
unless you're like that extremely rare person that marries his high school sweetheart and just stay married
Oh,
forever.
okay. So you're saying like most guys have that one,
Nessie
you know,
monster.
yes, or swamp thing, that they regret, just like
No,
every.
no. There's not even. It's not even a matter of regret. It's a matter of saying, like, dude, I don't
I
think
did that.
I don't think we have female listeners. So just like I fucked an ugly chick, a Nessie monster,
Well, it's
and I'm
okay, because I'm
and,
sure that most girls out there have a dick that they
yeah,
regret.
and I was gonna say like, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that wake up the next day and then just go like, whoa, like I had way too much to drink. Like, please tell me we didn't have sex. So,
And how many of those end up in childbirth?
Oh, dude. Can you imagine, you poor fucking bastard? You
Oh,
poor
for girls
bastard.
too.
No, imagine that you just got fucking pissed drunk. You're like horny as fuck.
And you wake
And
up to
then,
Janet Reno.
yeah, you wake up to Janet Reno. And then she's pregnant. And she decides you're gonna be this baby's mama. She's gonna be your baby's mama.
Uh, that could be a good horror film.
I know. Well, no. Well, imagine how fucking, there's got to be people out there with a story like that. I mean, I know I have a Nessy monster that I'm not, like, you know, I'm not gonna tell you that story, obviously, but I'll just keep it at that.
Where's Anna?
It's like, I'm just gonna be like, don't judge me, motherfuckers. I was horny. There was nobody else around.
Well, I hope not. I hope that your options were really limited.
And I really, like, honestly, at that point, like, jacking off was not an option.
That's a pretty serious situation.
It's a pretty messed up situation to be in, though.
Were your hands broken?
But how about you, Lonnie? You have a Nessy monster?
I don't think so.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's interesting. Like, okay, when we were off, and you and I just talked last weekend. We had got we had gotten into the conversation. We have to talk about it, man. Is the I don't remember everything that we had said, but it basically ended in, like, what would it? Okay, let me just start from the beginning because that's less confusing. I'm just jabbering now, but I had asked Anna, Zumi's wife, if she would be okay with him having to carry the baby if they were going to have another one. And she, of course, she says yes. Like the Junior situation, like the movie Junior. And we were discussing, like, well, because you had asked me, like, well, how would you have that baby? And of course, you'd have to have it cesarean, right? Because you don't have a birth canal. And then you got even weirder, and you're like, well, what if you just do it through the urethra? Dude, that is the most horrific shit. It's like, okay, what if that's actually how it happened?
You no longer have a dick.
Yeah, it's
I
gone.
think it'll explode.
It's like the mushroom effect, man.
I know.
Oh, God. But you think of, like, kidney stones.
Well, yeah.
Try a baby.
Dude, like, I've heard horror stories about kidney stones, and yeah.
Oh.
Which, by the way, did I ever tell you the kidney stone remedy?
Yeah. Actually, didn't somebody you knew had them? And
yeah, I did it, and the person that had him did this and got rid of him in just 2 days.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Pain-free.
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 See, that's the best way.
I know, right? So basically, what you do, and you a lot of people, you probably Google this shit if you had kidney stones, right? Like alternate remedies and stuff. But if you don't know, if you're lazy, basically what you do, you go buy a bunch of asparagus, like, how they have, like, bunches of 10, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just cut
a fag of 10.
Yeah. That's
what
actually,
it is.
Yeah, that's actually the proper way to say it. It just sounds funny. A fag of dicks. Anyway, you cut them about half, and you put them in a blender, and you make a puree out of them. And I'm not gonna lie, they're just fucking nasty as shit. But you can put a little bit of salt for flavor.
Yeah. I think you just down it.
Yeah, down it as fast as you can. I mean, well, it's puree. You can't really down it that fast. But,
it's like goopy.
Yeah, so you gotta try not to chew on it. Just swallow like a duck.
Oh,
And
you would know about that.
Yeah, dick. And
I'm
then
sorry.
within an hour, what you do is you drink a 2 liter Coca-Cola,
Like an actual Coca-Cola?
an
Like,
actual Coca-Cola, the 2 liter bottle. You drink that. Yeah, exactly. And the the acid that Coca-Cola has, you have it in the ingredients. What's that acid called?
um,
Does that
you
bottle
mean
have
like
it?
like sorbic acid?
No, it starts with. I
Um,
think it starts with an F.
let's take a look. Hang on.
I have a freaking. I have a Sprite.
Phosphoric acid.
Yeah, that one. So that acid makes a reaction with the asparagus, and it dissolves the stones.
Like right then and there, or like overnight.
Well, like overnight, like you're gonna. I mean, eventually you're gonna start peeing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and when you pee, it'll be like you're
It'll
peeing
stink to
normally.
all high heaven.
No, it really like mine didn't really stink. It was just like a long pee. Like it just felt like those pee when you're like decided to sleep over the you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, I gotta pee, and then you're like, no, I don't. You go
Yeah.
back to sleep, and then you wake up like 3 hours later, and then you're like, okay, I really gotta pee.
Yeah.
And then you're peeing for like 2 minutes straight. The point where you're like not getting any relief anymore. You're just like, the fuck, dude?
Your legs are getting tired from
Yeah.
standing.
So that's technically that's pretty much how it is, but the pain will go away. And then when you go back to your doctor and stuff, or do your ultrasound or whatever that they do, and kidney stone free, man.
You see, I knew this podcast had a purpose,
Yeah.
and apparently it's to help people with kidney stones.
I know one for gallstones too. Did it? My wife did it. Got rid of them.
Yeah, you were telling me about that, because like the doctor wanted to charge you guys for what, like doing surgery?
Yeah. Yeah, she like straight up just said like this is surgery. And we're like, wait, are there any other? It's like, nope, surgery. I'm like, can we have a surgery? We're like, Jesus.
All right, well, you have a nice day then,
Yeah. She's like, yeah, for us it's surgery. We don't believe in that stuff. And it's funny because I asked one of my friends who's a doctor, and he said, yeah, dude, that alternate medicine shit doesn't work. And I'm like, okay. We did it, and she hasn't had any pain. Did another ultrasound. There's no fucking gallstones.
Well, then that makes you think, are they taught, to think that way? I'm
I
sure
think
they are.
I think so. Like, I mean, if anything, when they have a spontaneous remission, which is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't you talk to that person? Like, what did you do differently?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all part of the Hippocratic Oath. Like, I mean, that's the whole thing, it is finding the best solution for an individual. But I mean, you have to remember too that pharmaceutical companies have a huge stake in all that,
Yeah.
and
Well, see, but here's the thing. Like, I started thinking. I think about doctors nowadays as a glorified pharmacist
pretty much, and
because
not
that's
that I
all they
don't
do.
respect them, but it's,
No, I do, and dude, I am grateful. Like, I would have been dead. My fucking appendix exploded.
yeah,
If I hadn't had that surgery, like I'd be dead. But when you go and just say that the only way to heal people is by prescribing medications
and surgery.
and surgery, and you don't look at other stuff that have worked for other people, then yeah, I have an issue with that. I have a problem that I go to the doctor and all they do is prescribe the same fucking shit,
Yeah.
amoxicillin and just an ibuprofen for pain.
That's becoming a real problem. Did you see that there's that one lady, I don't know where she's from. It's here in the US. I guess she got some type of infection, went to the doctor, and she is immune to all types of uh
Antibiotics?
yes, antibiotics.
Wow.
Yeah, because she had taken so many over the years, and she had been given different kinds, and they weren't tracked very well. So she just ends up having this infection, and I guess she's like on the verge of death right now
Whoa.
because they can't. Once you get an infection, if your body can't fight that, it doesn't matter how small the infection is.
Yeah,
You know,
especially like it's a bacterial infection, right? I'm
yeah,
assuming.
yeah,
Yeah, colloidal silver might help.
might. And that it's interesting because now it comes to the point where people are forced to go to alternative medicine, which it shouldn't have even been alternative in the first place. It
Right.
should be, I mean, could be for the most part, alternative medicine is much safer. Like I said, for the most part, there's some weird stuff out there, but that should be like the first thing you're trying.
Mhm.
You know, like if you can get rid of something with lemon water and apple cider vinegar, why don't you try that first?
Yeah. Well, and like I said, that the apple cider vinegar works great for me because I can get some pretty bad uh heartburn.
Oh yeah.
But I love my freaking spicy food and acidic food, or not acidic. Is it acidic food?
You
What?
like foods that are bases,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. That's what it is.
well,
Because I need the apple cider vinegar to make myself more acidic to dissolve it faster.
have you ever tried if when you have like acid reflux or something, have you ever tried baking soda?
Nah, dude, I
Oh,
refuse. It
oh,
tastes
dude,
so bad.
yes, it does, but dude, it's like instant relief. You just burp everything up.
No, I've tried it once and I was like, never again. It didn't help. It was nasty and it was just like it just felt miserable.
Yeah, it works for me.
So what I do is it's I try every day, um, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of water, and if I have a lemon, I'll put a lemon in it, but it's not necessary. And at night, I'll take a because I don't have an appendix, so I'll take
Yeah.
the 1 billion strain probiotics.
Oh yeah, that stuff is crazy.
Yeah,
How
and it,
probiotics work.
dude, it when I found about the whole intestinal flora and how your appendix is the one that is in charge of producing the good bacteria, I'm
Yeah.
like I'm like, hey, that's not as useless of an organ as people say it
Oh
is.
no, it's not.
So 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 I don't have an appendix. So if you don't have an appendix, definitely go take probiotics,
Yeah.
and you'll get less bloated, and you'll actually shit better.
This week on Dr. Zumi.
All right. So, but anyways, that whole Nessy monster thing, Lonnie, it it reminded me of my story from Craigslist.
And how's that?
So way back in the day, um, when we were younger, single, and looking for that special somebody, and pretty much fucking desperate, right?
Sure.
Um, I actually tried Craigslist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I know.
It's like trying to find love at a garage sale.
I knew I knew I was gonna get this reaction from you, but
Ugh.
but but here's the thing though. So I went into the section, and you know how they have like the men men seeking women, women seeking men, men seeking men and women.
Women seeking dogs, all that stuff.
Yeah. So I typed in my profile and all that shit, or my message. There's no real profile, but and I decided to take a risk on this one. I actually posted a picture, a face picture. I know, dude. Don't not, don't go on at me like that.
It's out there now,
I know
that's on the internet forever.
I can never be a politician. There's so much crap that I did when I was young that.
I think you could if as long as you just own it.
so so I posted this stuff, and I made I did what everybody. I didn't know better about women and stuff, right? And what they look for and all that shit.
Sure.
And I probably wrote the most fucking beta male post you can possibly write.
Well, like you like walks on the beach and you like to cook and clean and.
Close enough. But anyway, start writing about, looking for a connection and all this just jabbering bullshit that you think they should be saying on, like, no, like, you should never. Anyways, so I'm like all optimistic, like, girls are gonna love this shit. They love that romantic crap. Not really. Dude, I started getting replies. Great post, yada, yada, yada. And then you look at the bottom, there's an attachment with a picture, and it's a fucking dick pic.
So you're getting trolled by dudes.
No, dude, I was getting response by gay dudes.
Oh, and they're in the wrong forum.
They were looking at the wrong forum. Like it was clearly men seeking women. So maybe they thought they were women, right? They identified as women. But they were answering like honest, like oh, great post, yada yada yada. Hey, I don't know if you're looking for this, but if you ever like decide to swing the other way,
Oh my god!
Here's my dick pic.
I mean, and that's how you get it done, right? I mean,
no, but the fucking audacity of these guys, like what is it about these guys showing dick pics, like sending dick pics, like you're gonna look at a girl or anybody's just gonna look at a dick and go like, I'm in love.
Well, you never know.
No, dude, that shit doesn't work. Come on,
well,
honey. If you were to do the same thing and a girl would post a picture of her vagina,
that'd be weird, and I'd probably delete it.
You probably you just go like, what the fuck is this? This is like, really?
I'd actually be kind of scared. Well, let me ask Christelle. She's a woman. Glad she's happy that I noticed. Would dick pics work for you?
If any.
At all. I mean, even from me. Say, like, you're married to me, and I just started sending you dick pics. No? No? Not at all? She looks like she might be disgusted at just the thought.
My point exactly. Now ask her the opposite. What does she think if, if just a random girl would just send a fucking vagina pic on like the first reply post?
What do you think about twat pics? It's basically the equivalent, right?
It's different.
Why is that different?
Because to men it's different.
Yes, but we're talking about it and we're saying that's almost creepier.
Really?
Yes. Well, because I would say like with men sending dick pics as opposed to women sending twat pics. That's like I don't know, there's just something overly aggressive about sending a picture of your vagina. I understand there's like, like a dick pic, like you send that and guys are just naturally aggressive, but
yeah, and that would be my question. Like, to what purpose do guys send a fucking dick pic? Like I said, it's not like a girl's gonna go like, oh, that's a beautiful dick, I'm in love.
Well, I want to know how that started. It's like, who was the first guy doing this and saying, dude, it works?
It works.
Like, I get so much pussy. I just send dick pics all day long.
You know what probably happened? Probably this one guy was pretending to be a woman, and this one dude responded to her ad and decided to send a dick pic, and this other guy, just to mess with him, decided like, oh, that's a beautiful dick. so he started this trend like, yeah, you gotta send a dick pic, man. You gotta be aggressive with these girls. you gotta show them that you mean business.
Is that how you show you mean business? I mean, you can't do that in an office setting.
Yeah,
or at a sales call.
I think a bunch of guys are going like, yeah, whatever, dude. If somebody sends me a vagina pic, I'm probably gonna go like, yeah, I'm gonna answer back. Like, no, dude.
First of all, you probably don't want to be with anyone who does that type of thing.
Yeah, well,
man or woman.
I would say, first of all, like, I don't think those women exist, but. And then,
oh, I'm sure there are.
And then two, if they are, they're probably a Nessy monster. So.
Swamp Thing.
Uh,
So
so,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It was just
that's a
I had
weird
to.
conversation.
Yeah, I know. But I had to share that story because, needless to say, uh, yeah, I didn't search for the one in Craigslist anymore.
Yeah, like I said, that's not a good idea. You know, it's not a good idea just to browse that
Oh, I do eventually. On occasions, I do like this.
out of a joke.
No, like out of like just finding what people like write. I'm not looking for
Oh, so
dick.
you're doing it for research purposes.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, some weird dude. Like you know this. I definitely don't do it to find dick pics. That's for sure. But
Well,
uh,
can't you use it in your therapy?
yeah, that's usually what I use it for. It's a great place to find clients because people are fucked up.
Dude, you're like the ambulance chaser of the NLP world.
so, but so, but however, like it can backfire. Um, and that's why I wrote that I have another Craigslist story or adventure, I should say.
Okay.
So in our quest for searching for more audience and more people to listen to this podcast that probably nobody listens to,
We have some.
I I decided to go on Craigslist because I figure like we're lacking on the questions of the week, right? We had a
Yes.
we had a fairly good response on the first couple of podcasts, but like they've been like dead. So I'm like, okay, Craigslist always has interesting people and stupid people
Oh
posting
my
shit
god.
about asking for advice, and it usually goes around the lines like this: advice in the title, and it'll either say something like, "My husband or my wife cheated on me," or "What do men want when they say this?" or "I need a buddy to like talk to and this and that, and I need advice about men because my boyfriend's doing drugs, yada yada yada." So I'm thinking like Sumi and Lonnie can tack this like fairly well in the podcast and have an interesting conversation and an honest response to these people, right?
Yeah.
Because they're only seeking for advice. They're not looking into having like professional therapy. So I get this one and it was really well written as far as like the details.
Okay.
So it's this woman's writing about how she like has been with her husband forever and never really did anything as far as like having fun and stuff when she was young. Blah blah blah. Blah.
He's
She
such a dick.
she moved. Well, I am being a dick because of the response. Just hold on. They moved to I think California or something, and they were having issues, and it just hasn't been the same. Blah blah blah. And I honestly I send her a reply saying like, hey, my friend and I have a podcast. This would be like a really good question that we can tag and talk about because well we we've been in the military. We kind of know what goes around during deployments and all that stuff, and I'm
Sure.
pretty sure we
Sure.
can give you some really really good advice. And so I wrote this whole thing about how we set up, how we do the podcast, and all this stuff, right?
Sure.
And I get a reply that said, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh. Do you
So
have a username for this person?
no, fuck this
Oh, that's too
bitch.
bad.
I hope your marriage ends.
Oh wow.
No, I really don't. Like, no, but but the thing is, dude, it it gave me it gave me like kind of like this. What if people go on Craigslist just to bitch and moan, and they're not really seeking for anything?
Well, that happens all the time with other stuff too.
Well, it's just
I
one of
mean,
those
it's just
things. Like,
another place to do it.
you're right, and but to me, it's like, why it got me thinking about the poverty virus. I don't know if I talked to you about the poverty virus.
No,
And
not at all.
okay, so people will do. Well, you're not actually born with this poverty virus. You're taught the poverty virus, and it pretty much goes like this: any idea or any concept that you have about uh, love, health, and money, which are the basic three things that you need to live. Yes.
Sure. Well, mostly, yeah.
Well, I mean, when if you
I'll go with it.
if somebody if you were to ask somebody like, what do you want in life, it'll usually be love, or money, or wealth and health,
Sure. Okay.
right? Those are the main
Yeah.
three. There's more stuff, but those are the main three. So, well, we'll think about my first example. The things that I knew or thought about love was what I've seen in movies. You gotta be the romantic guy. You gotta be the nice guy. Uh, nice guy finishes last for a reason, because you come off as a fucking creepy stalker.
Yes.
So, anyways, so the idea that you have about wealth is based on the mentors that you've had about in your life. So if you had really really crappy people with money, most likely you're pretty crappy with your money.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you can't get out of a certain situation where you believe that because of the way you were raised.
Right. So eventually, what I'm getting is that you form a blueprint about stuff, and it's really really hard to change because it becomes a core belief. So if I come and I tell you, hey Lonnie, this is how you will actually make money, most likely you'll put up a defense mechanism saying like, whoa 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 whoa, like I already know how to make money.
Yeah. Even though you don't
And
have any.
yeah, exactly. So when I told this woman about the podcast and all that stuff, and when I heard that, nah, I'm good. In reality, what I picture was like this girl just saying like no no no, whatever it is that you're saying, like I already know the answer. And that's the worst fucking symptom that the poverty virus has. That's for you to say, oh yeah yeah yeah, I already know that. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
And my answer is always like, if you already know this and if you already heard this before, how come you're still in the same fucking situation?
Well, I think it also has to do with the learned tendencies of your situation with other things. Too, it's like, you have that mindset about money or health,
Yeah,
or love, but that you're going to have those other things that are, you're going to do for the most part, like, unless you decide for yourself that you're going to be a different person, you're going to do what your parents did.
yeah, and or not necessarily your parents, but your closest mentors, I would say.
Yes.
And like I said, for me, um, like wealth has been an issue. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like money has always been an issue, and like I'm now just recently, I stopped taking advice, like money advice from just anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you wanted to tell me like where to invest, or like, oh, you should do this and stuff to make money and stuff like that, I'm like, show me your numbers.
Yeah.
I want to see your bank account. Because if your bank account doesn't have at least 20 grand in it, like yeah, your advice is useless.
Yeah. Well, it's like taking weight loss advice from someone fatter than you.
Right, exactly. It's like yeah, that's exactly my point right there. That one right there. It's one of those things like where you have all these teachers that tell you gotta work hard, you gotta study, and eventually you'll live the life. And I'm like, like motherfucker, you're broke. You're a teacher and you're broke. Like you're the last person I should be listening for that kind of advice.
Well, it's it's interesting because, okay, I'm going to suggest a theory that most people know what they're doing wrong in any type of situation, whether it be with money, relationships, with their health. I think that deep down, most people know that they're doing something wrong. But the thing is that you get so comfortable, like just being. I don't know what better way to say it than just sitting in your own filth. Like
Okay.
it's like that old couch or that old chair
Yeah.
that
That makes sense.
stinks from everybody's ass being on it, and it's torn up and everything, or like an old T-shirt that your wife hates. You're comfortable with it, even though there's no reason why you should be using it. But it's just like being miserable. Like you say, like there's this lady on Craigslist that just wants to tell her story. She doesn't want anything else but other than to, have maybe one or two people feel bad for her, right?
Right. Just vent, and that's
And
what
it's
it.
like, venting is all good. You do it. I think venting is a good tool, if you're doing it with the right people. But doing it like that,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it just shows me that you have no intention of changing the circumstance.
exactly. And what pissed me off was that it clearly said I'm seeking advice.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're gonna say a name or anything. Like in Craigslist, you can keep yourself private. It's like,
I
right?
don't know. Yeah, but it it's pretty sad, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped feeling sad. Like after she sent the email, I was like, all right, well, okay, I guess we're not doing that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Which was a shame, like, cause it was really a cool story. I think we would have had fun, like
Even though
dissecting.
we've devoted about 5 minutes to it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, I was extremely vague about it. It's just
Yeah.
I don't remember the details. This happened quite a while ago. It's
Well, we
like a week
wanted
and a
to
half
do
ago. Like a week
well,
and a
at
half.
least I've wanted to do the thing where we do bad advice. Like we've discussed this several times, but like I want people to write in questions, like asking for advice, and then just give them absolutely terrible advice that you should never follow, you know. but but in a way, do it so much that it's like just do the opposite of this and you'll be fine,
Yeah.
you know. But with those situations, like I said, I don't think people really want to be helped,
No. Yeah,
you
me
know.
neither.
But
Yeah,
that's
well,
just my
and
opinion.
it's like I said that it's that mental blueprint that you have about like situations in life. Because, well,
Sure.
think about it. Like, why is it that people return to the same person just with a different name?
I don't know.
It's the same guy that beats them, the same guy that cheats on them or whatever. It just has a different name and a different face.
Yeah.
Well, because there's the blueprint. There is a mental blueprint of how the person that should be, or the person that you deserve, should be,
Well,
and you will seek those things. You will attract those things.
yeah. Well, I saw an interesting meme a while ago. This is a couple of years ago, and it was supposed to be funny, but I didn't find it that funny, But it was basically like this mom, and like this mom has, like some really, whorish type clothing on, and then her son, he's like 2 or 3 years old, and he's got on these, like the real puffy jacket and a flat billed hat and stuff like that, and he's got a chain on. This little kid, and he's got his nice little Converse shoes on and stuff, and the meme says, "Why do women always dress up their kids like the men who left them?"
Oh.
it's, but it's what you're comfortable with. You're comfortable with being with the asshole that beats you and leaves you, or gets you knocked up and takes off,
Yeah.
and you're just
And
making another one.
well, all I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be that way. Like they and
No, you
and
can free yourselves, people.
yeah. So yeah, and if you're in like most of Americans out there that are struggling and have money issues, um, start to find somebody that's rich.
Yeah.
Find
Well,
somebody that's rich and ask him like, "What the fuck did you do?"
that's what's the movie? I know that we always get into movies on this podcast, but I the way that I feel about that is like, I get into movies and I reference movies about certain things because, it is a depiction of life. It's not perfect and it's not always accurate, but the movie with Will Smith, um, The Pursuit of Happiness. You seen that?
Yeah, I have.
Good tearjerker movie. In a good way. Well, I guess in a bad way too. There's some sad stuff in there. Well, either way, the fact that like in the beginning of the movie, he sees a stockbroker, and the guy gets out of like this really nice car, and he's just got this big ass smile on his face,
Right.
and Will Smith's character, Chris, he he basically just looks at him and he's like, what do you do and how can I do it?
Yeah, that's like
You know,
like you. I
yeah.
want you.
Well, and it's not necessarily like I want everything about like you surround your if you want to be rich, you surround yourself with rich people. I mean, it's a lot harder to do than actually saying it,
Yeah.
But but if you want to be with smart or if you want to be a smart person, hang around smart people. It's really simple. If you want to be a douchebag, you hang out with douchebags.
Yeah. If you want to write, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, yes, just I mean, you can still take advice, like good advice from people, but it's just you gotta take it with a grain of salt,
Yeah.
especially when, like I said, when it comes about health and wealth and and love. Because, dude, I was taking like all of the love advice
Yeah.
from people that couldn't hold a fucking girlfriend for more than 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And
it's amazing
and
that you'll do that, right? I mean,
yeah, and guess what? Like most of my relationship ended after 3 months.
it's incredible. I
So
mean, it's like it's such a simple formula, but we're flawed,
yeah.
So it's yeah, it's kind of rough, and it's that's why I think choosing your mentors is just as important as choosing the things that you like and the things that you do as a hobby or the job that you choose. I mean, choosing somebody that you not necessarily idolize, but you know admire,
Yeah.
that's really important. Because if you're gonna like these kids, like well, it was our generation too. You idolize an athlete,
Exactly.
and then you get a whole generation of people that act like, you know, rich assholes. So it's
Yeah, and so just remember, it's after high school, your kid has a 0.002% chance of becoming pro.
yeah, yeah, and that's for every school. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So don't go fucking pull a tiger on them or some marijuana bitch.
yeah. Well, um, that's an interesting topic. I don't think we should get into it too much, but because that could lead down a really long segment. Uh,
Well,
but
but
the
this it is a broad subject. This poverty virus, and I like I said, my mentor calls it a poverty virus because you don't you're really not born with it. Nobody's born as a baby knowing like I'm gonna be fucking poor. Or I'm gonna
yeah,
have poor ideas. I'm gonna have poor judgment. I'm gonna have poor everything. Uh, but you learn them at one point in your life. You got to stop and say like, is the strategy that I'm using right now working? And if the answer is no, then fuck, dude, you got to change it.
yeah.
You know, it's like wiping your ass with I was gonna use a colorful
Bzz.
metaphor, but no, like I'll stop it there. You get my point.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah, I won't get into it any further. It's just the only thing that I would say is that, choosing who you're going to decide to admire choose wisely. And I don't want to say who it is. It's a family member, because she actually listens. So, um, this person who I love very, very much, she likes to hang around people that don't have a job, have kids but no way to support them. Parties with all of these people, and that's exactly who she was for a really long time. And I think she's still got some of it left. But who you surround yourself with is very, very important. That's why I don't hang out with people at work. Except for Andrew. Andrew, I'll hang out with you all day long.
That's funny. It's kind of funny because when I my coaching will start pretty soon, so you'll hear me talk about volleyball and stuff.
Oh, not a real sport. Okay.
It's a real sport. Trust me. Yeah, did you know volleyball was the manliest game you could ever play?
Oh yeah, I've seen Top Gun.
It was considered the manliest game ever because it involved strategy and all that stuff. Anyway, Title 9.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's Title 9, the one that says women are equal now. You should have the same sports as men and all that stuff. I can't remember if it's 13 or 9. I think it's Title 9. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But after that, they saw volleyball as there's really no physical contact among teams. This is a woman's sport all of a sudden. But anyways, I digress. Whenever I get the varsity kids, because now I've coached for so long at this high school that now the freshman kids that I had have graduated. Last year, I saw the kids that I had for the first time as freshmen become men. 17, 18, yeah, so to speak. Varsity and seniors,
Sure.
And they were, some of them were, they're shocked when I tell them yeah, dude, just take everything with a grain of salt when you go to college. Don't become a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
And it's it doesn't, just because they teach you one way doesn't mean that's the way it is.
Oh, and that is one of the most frustrating things with kids coming out of college.
Yeah, especially when they come, it's well, I gotta get my grades up, and I'm do you really need the grades? And then they just look at me well, yeah. It's no, think about it. Do you really if you have a bachelor's degree right now, and whatever it is, whatever, does it keep you from doing the stuff that you're doing or you want to do? Well, I kind of need it. Well, what do you need it?
Yeah,
why?
Exactly.
And they're oh, well, I kind of need it because it's a requirement for the job. Okay, it's a requirement for the job. Do you really need it to do that job? Just consider it for a while. Do you really need it? Do you really need a bachelor's degree that's going to be obsolete in 6 months in computer science to do computer science stuff? And they're no. Exactly, you really don't need it. So I'm not saying don't go get the bachelor's degree in computer science or whatever. By all means, get it. You'll get a better starting job. And you will have that respect of you're a college grad or whatever. However, my point is that in order for the learning doesn't end, or it doesn't have to be just a curriculum that you get in college.
Yeah, for sure.
And I always use the computer example because my brother has a bachelor's in computer science engineering, and he's it's stupid for me to get a master's because by the time I finish the master's, all the information that I've learned in that 2 years, it's obsolete.
Yeah.
It updates every 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's it's pointless. I guess I can get it to just brag about it.
Well, it's it's like getting that one glorious shot in golf. It's Yeah, but what does that really do for you?
Right.
You know?
If you get that perfect shot into the green and you three putt and you get a bogey, it's still a fucking bogey, you know.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
uh, so yeah, it's just one of those things like where like don't be what's the word I'm looking for, Lon?
Don't be
Stuck up.
sucked in. Don't be sucked in.
Yeah. I mean, it's like me, like like everybody's saying, like, well, the states, I can't claim to be a psychologist in the states, right?
Yeah,
I just can't do it. I need a master's degree. That's the law, and I'm fine with it. But I can be an NLP practitioner. I can be a hypnotist. I can still do A form A therapy in a way, right? That helps
sure.
people, and it probably will help more than like psychotherapy.
I think so.
and but it's just it is what it is. It doesn't the master's degree doesn't keep me from helping people.
Can I ask you a question?
I believe you just did.
Why are the Irish so hard to psychoanalyze?
Well, first of all, I don't psychoanalyze anything.
Well, I'm just asking,
Well, just think
because
about it.
typically,
Would you trust somebody who has a title Psycho the Rapist?
okay, come on. I mean,
I know what you mean. I'm just
it's
messing with you.
this is a well-known thing that people of Irish heritage have a much more difficult time in psychotherapy or going to therapy of any kind that has to do with talking and
Well, see, but that's the thing. Like, my form of therapy, it isn't about talking. I don't want you to fucking talk. Like, shit, you come and talk. You're depressed, and you're gonna depress me. Like, fuck you. I don't want that.
do you think it's because of the walls they put up?
Define walls.
I'm not gonna get into it with you because you're just gonna NLP me.
I'm not gonna NLP you.
No, walls meaning like those mental barriers that you're not gonna let somebody in.
Oh, like defense
Um,
mechanisms, you mean?
yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the thing. Like, that's only for psychotherapy, but we've already established that psychotherapy doesn't. It's not that effective.
Not at all. What's the percentage on people getting better?
Uh, I'm looking at for you right now. It's like I used to know these by memory, but I think it's like 628 sessions, and you only have like a 22% chance of getting better.
And better in any way. That's the whole
Yes.
thing. That's
Yeah.
the key part
Yeah.
is even a small progressive climb into the right direction.
Yeah. So 628 sessions. Imagine that. Like one session a week. Fuck
Oh,
that, dude. Fuck that.
and talking about your mother and all the Freudian responses and stuff and would you draw me a picture of that, please? No, I'm not going to draw you a picture.
uh, this is psycho.
This is
I'm
where
looking.
I'm gonna insert the Jeopardy theme in this part. Yeah.
Psychotherapy versus hypnosis.
I'm looking at our set list and this thing. I think
Yeah, it just.
I may have been drinking. So, but this part I definitely have to get to because there's a story that I need to tell you. Did you find it?
Hold on. I think I did.
Ugh.
Yeah, and this is an actual study done in UCLA. So if you guys don't believe me, you can actually look it up. It's a comparative study. It was done by. It's actually done by a Mexican.
Of course it was.
I know, right?
They're geniuses.
Yeah, it's a PhD.
Hey man, there's a lot of smart Mexicans, man.
What's his name?
I don't know if I'd qualify you. You're kind of like a half breed, so.
Yeah.
Oh, so but you'd be like Gohan because you're a half breed. So you're more powerful because of the fact that you're a half breed, right?
No, but I think it was established that he wasn't. We're not gonna get Dragon Ball. Come on, dude.
I love Dragon Ball.
I
When's the last
remember.
time you played Dungeons and Dragons?
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, not even when I was a kid. That game did not exist when I grew up.
Yeah, I've never
Well,
played it.
in
I've always
Mexico,
wanted to
like
do like a couple of sessions just to experience it. Not because I'm a nerd. Any of you jerks that might be listening calling me a nerd. I've always wanted to see. I just want to see what's involved because I really don't know.
oh man, what's his name? Albert.
Can't find it.
I remember his name. Oh, you know what? I have it in Facebook. Hold on.
Okay. Well, while you're looking, is there anything that I need to inform our listeners of?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Obama's rang us over.
oh, not yet. Not yet.
Well, I mean, it's
You
pretty
still
close,
got
right?
what is it, the 20th? Yeah, so we have 6 days. Well, it's soon to be 4 or 5. I can't do
And
math.
and he's doing a shitload of stuff that affects us. Why don't we talk
Yes, and
about that?
some of that stuff is really bad. Did you see the thing that he did with Cuba? We had a long-standing exemption for Cubans with immigration,
Mm-hmm.
basically saying because it's a communism and because it oppresses most of its people in Cuba, right?
Yeah.
In some form. I mean, poverty is like what, like 80% of that country? And well, basically the exemption went that if a Cuban can get past, like or go over the Gulf of Mexico and reach the United States, they'll be granted citizenship.
No way.
Yes, you can look this up.
Oh,
There
here
was
it is. Oh, sorry.
well, I was just going to say that he ended that, and I think was it he canceled all visas for recent, like, people that were trying to become a citizen. He canceled all of them.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad I got Anna's paperwork then.
Yeah,
Like in
it's weird. I looked more into it. I guess Cuban Americans were huge supporters of Donald Trump during the campaign.
man.
So it was just an interesting thing. Like, yeah, I didn't know that we had an exemption that says like if you can get out of your communist country and you can swim or row all the way over here, we'll just grant you citizenship.
Or be really, really good at baseball.
Or that.
Anyway, I found the study,
Okay.
and it's like I said, PhD. His name is Dr. Alfred Barrios. Like 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 the Barrio essay.
Yeah, I'm white,
All
so
right, whatever. Anyways, and it's in the American Health magazine. Is where they published the study, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a journal article. So they found for psychoanalysis, it's a 38% chance you'll get better after 600 sessions.
I'm, so in to do that every week,
Yeah, that's
that's
where
only
you.
50. If you were religious and you went every week, that's 52 sessions in 1 year.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
a long time.
That's a shitload of years, right?
Yeah,
If
that's
you
too many.
do, yeah, if you do CBT, or is it, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the one that has kind of like the trend right now, CBT, and um, you have a 72% chance after 22 sessions.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, well, but
It's
it's
still
still
not
20.
great.
It's still 22 sessions, right?
Yeah.
If you do hypnotherapy, you have a 93% chance of getting better after 6 sessions.
It's ridiculous.
So, well, when I do a mixture. I do a mix. So I do NLP and I do hypnosis or hypnotherapy, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, like you can get it done in one session, dude.
Yeah.
So to me, brief therapy should be one session. That's brief, right?
Yeah.
Brief therapy to a psychoanalysis is 6 to 12 sessions. But this study is telling me that you have a 38% chance of getting better after 600.
And that's a lot of money.
So I don't, yeah. So I don't think it's about the Irish putting defense mechanisms and all that stuff. I think it's just they're not finding the right therapy for them.
And I'm sure that like in places where there's a high amount of Irish demograph, those areas like Boston and stuff,
Yeah. So I
there's
mean,
probably
if
not
you,
very, there's probably not a whole lot of discount psychoanalysts or,
well, yeah, and the thing is like, and psychology is really good at giving you labels. They'll give you reasons for you to say why you're fucked up, but they won't actually give you the how to get rid of that fucked upness.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you, oh, you're the reason why you cheated, or the reason why you're an asshole is because you have an Oedipus complex that you haven't fixed with your father because you wanted to fuck your mother. And I was like, I don't know. I look at my mom and I don't go like, hey, let's get it on, baby.
Yeah.
And like Jarodowski,
The director?
From Old Topo and Dune and all that.
Yeah.
Well, he does a form of therapy that it's kind of a hybrid of psychoanalysis. I kind of gone away from doing his stuff a lot, but he has a really funny story where when he's saying he worked with Rake or Reek, whatever his name is, and he was one of Freud's students.
Oh, okay.
Like his direct students, right? And he said he spent 10 years with them, dude. Like, and then, he said they had this breakout session, right? That's what what the psychoanalysts call it, where he goes like, yes, I finally realized I fucking hate my father. He's like,
10 years.
And then he's like, and now what do I do? And this guy just goes like, well, write, do art, paint. He's just like,
what a waste of time.
It's like 10 years to find that out. He's like, no. So that's why he decided to do his like own methods of therapy. And some of them are out there, some of them are
well, it is Jarodowski.
Yeah, I did one of his like he called it psycho magic. I did one of his acts when my son passed away, and it really, at the time, it helped a lot. And but now, like you can do it with hypnosis, and it's like you save a lot of money too. So
yeah, much cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, I did have a question for you. Did you look up any? I'm going to do a little segment every now and then called the What the Fuck segment. I might even make a soundbite for it.
Dude, I'm living the What the Fuck.
Well, it's basically stories that, make you say, of course, WTF. And I did get one that I have to send you the whole thing. But here's the title of this news article. Chinese man survives 25 years unknowingly cracking nuts with a hand grenade. Dude, how badass is that? I mean, from what I'm seeing here in the story,
was this grenade? Did it have a pin? Did the
I'm
pin break?
I'm gonna send you the. I'll do it on Facebook Messenger here. It's the easiest way. Oh, guess I gotta. Okay. Here it is.
Does MSN Messenger?
There's the tool right there. It comes up with a picture. Do you see it?
Where are we? Are we in Facebook or are we in?
I'm in Facebook Messenger. I sent you the article on Facebook Messenger.
Shit, I'm not in Facebook right now.
Well, do you want me to do it on Skype?
No. It's.
I think it's a World War I hand grenade. So like one of the ones with the handles.
Damn.
Yeah, and this dude was using this, and the way it looks, it's a if you've never seen one of these type of grenades, the old school ones have like a handle on the bottom, and then at the top there's a larger cylindrical chamber that's the actual grenade.
It pretty much looks like a dick in a ball.
Well, yeah, kinda, I guess.
Well, like a swollen ball.
But I don't know. I read it before, but I
Dude,
think it was.
I'm pretty sure people have played Call of Duty. They know what this grenade looks like.
Yeah,
It looks like a square maraca, like the one in our logo.
yeah. There you go.
So okay, so I see. Damn, it's all rusted and shit.
Yes, and this is what this dude was using. But I guess it's still it wasn't. It wasn't a dud, is what they found out pretty much. And I've looked up some other pieces to this story. Basically, this thing was live. I mean, it hadn't.
It
I mean,
was a live grenade.
it was a live grenade, and because the local police checked it out and found out, oh no, this thing still got the explosives inside. The activator, which I don't know where it's at, is still intact enough to where, yes, this thing could go off. And for 25 years, this guy was cracking nuts with a hand grenade. Dude, that's metal.
Shit. He's supposed to now safely away from Hong Kong man and with police. I just don't know whether he has made alternative arrangements for cracking nuts. So that's funny. Oh, but how did it not?
I don't know. Somebody must love him.
Dude.
Because 25 years of doing this. And you got to think that he's used more than one side. I mean, he's probably, hit nuts on with every single side of that thing.
This grenade?
I don't know. I think there's a pin. Not like when you think of grenade, like most people probably think of like the hand grenade, like the modern one that has the cross cut on the sides, for the shrapnel, and then the pin with the handle lift that pops off, right?
Right.
Like you see in a movie.
Yeah.
But that's not like this. The old ones have activators. Now, does it say what type of grenade this is?
No,
I don't think it does.
It just says hand grenade.
Let me see. I might be able to find a. Here's a pop. This is the Popular Mechanics. Okay, here is the actual grenade. Here, okay, the one that they had on there, I guess, was just a depiction of what they thought it was. Here is the actual grenade. Let me see. Okay, you see that one? That's the police photo. Now, the way that this one looks like it works, I mean, it looks like just like a wooden tool, right? Can you see this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like yeah.
Chinese Type 67 defensive hand grenade.
Whoa.
So Chinese, let me see. Chinese Type 67. Type 67 grenade. Okay. How does this work? Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of images here. So do
it does look like a potato masher.
Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like you fill it from the bottom like it's like a pipe bomb.
Okay.
The bottom apparently unscrews and you fill it with, like, I'm assuming like black powder or something and pieces of shrapnel.
Right.
But where's the activation? Because it doesn't take much. If you know anything about explosives, especially things like this, and that are old and still active or live, it doesn't take much to set things off. I mean, that's why we have ordnance departments in the military, is to get rid of things like this because it's really dangerous. But yeah, I just thought you'd find that interesting. That was my what the fuck story for this week.
Yeah.
25 years, man.
25 years of cracking a fucking nut. Or nuts, I should say.
With a hand grenade.
How did this guy die? Dude, he was cracking nuts with a
His
fucking
own?
hand grenade.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, but there was also something I wanted to ask you. And I think we should standardize this and make it our own, possibly copyright it and publish it. I was going to talk to you about a certain type of weights and measures and see if you wanted to figure this out. Just a couple of things. But the actual physical size, length, width, height, or whatever of things like an ass load, a dick load, a fuck ton, these type of things.
Oh,
Okay?
man.
So, first question, we won't get too much into it, but I'm going to ask you, what is bigger, an ass load or a fuck ton?
A fuck ton.
Okay.
Cause if you, I mean, okay, when you say ass load, the first thing that came about was like that 4 girls finger paint video, or the 2 girls 1 cup.
Yeah.
And then when you say,
Is that how you're going to standardize it by
yeah, that's how I'm
from
gonna
that
start
video?
the amount of shit you see in that video versus a fuck ton. I see the girl in the tub. Remember that one?
Oh,
That
dude.
fat chick in the tub.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's a big woman.
Okay,
That's a big Nessy monster right there.
Okay, so this is how we're going to standardize these two. Okay, we're going to say an ass load is like like a big gulp,
like a big gulp.
big gulp size.
Like the 2 girls 1 cup filled with
Ass load equals heaping big gulp, right? Heaping big gulp. Okay, so we got that.
I hope nobody's eating right now, man. I really hope you're not eating.
A fuck ton is just basically an old style tub.
Well, the girl in the tub. What's that fat chick in the tub?
Yeah, well, we'll just say whatever you can fill into a tub. That's a fuck ton.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, but it has to be that fat girl, though. I think we got to specify that it's...
Okay, so fuck ton.
I can't remember what that I seen that video once and I like never again. The 2 girls 1 cup. I kind of watch it once a week, kind of to remind me the.
Now, what would a dick load be?
You totally just ignore me, did you? Say that one more time. A dick what?
A dick load.
A dick load. I don't know.
It has to be. Would you say it's I'd say it's bigger than an ass load, because when you're saying dick load, like you're really serious about how much of whatever you're talking about there is, right?
I can't believe you're having this conversation.
I know. These will be the only 3.
When you wrote weight and measures, I thought you were kind of talking about like the metric system versus the.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create a new standard.
A new standard system.
Yes. So like
shit.
we have the metric system, the imperial system. We have things like Kelvin, Fahrenheit, Celsius, all that crap. Why can't we not have the Lon and Zumi standardized system?
I guess a dick load would be more. Yeah, I guess it would be more than.
I'm just saying because of how you say it. Like, you don't say dick load unless you're, like, really serious about how much.
Yeah, but how much more, though?
We could just make it really simple and say that a dick load is equal to 4 ass loads.
Oh, man.
Yeah? Dick load equals 4 ass loads. Okay. All right, that's all I need. We'll get into it more. Maybe we'll add 1 or 2 every time.
Oh man. I can just picture a mug with those measurements. Somebody drinking coffee. What the fuck is that, man? Oh,
That's
this?
it's half an ass load.
Half an absolute, yeah.
We're gonna make a recipe book. Normal things like like buffalo chicken pizza, and it tells you need a half ass load of chicken. Sorry, I know it's a weird topic, but I just had to
Well,
get it out there.
this podcast is kind of weird anyway. So
Yeah, well, and so am I.
oh, that's pretty messed up, Lonnie. I really hope you guys are not eating. The last topic we have in the set list is job. Why did I write job in there?
I have no idea because I know I didn't write it.
Yeah, I wrote it. I don't know why though. Maybe at that time when I wrote it, I was complaining or thinking something about my job or jobs or Steve Jobs. I don't know.
Were you drunk?
Maybe.
It's possible.
Speaking about being drunk, I have this thing where I kind of want to get like piss drunk, but then I think about the allergy. I'll probably end up puking.
Sure.
And then I'm just like, nah, I think I'll pass.
So you're saying the older you get, the more you puss out?
I guess so, dude.
That's what happens when you become a father.
Dude, I don't know. I was having this conversation with somebody at work. It's a lady that she already has like kids that are probably my age,
Okay.
But I told her like, yeah, like and like part of me like enjoys my kids the way they are right now because they think I'm like a god,
Sure.
And but the other part of me like just can't wait for them to be like old enough to like so I can just fucking leave them alone, like home alone, and I can just take my wife like on a date and.
Oh, you think this way too?
Yeah, like where I can just go. I mean, we just now found a babysitter where I think where I would feel comfortable doing that. But if let's say the babysitter's out of the equation here, we can't find anybody. We don't have any relatives like nearby that have the time to like help us out. And I'm like fuck, man, when am I gonna get my wife again? Like I
Retirement.
it's like shit, dude. Like no.
Yeah, it's. Believe me, I think about this a lot. Because I want to do stuff with Christelle. Like I want to be able to go on cruises and stuff like that with her. But it's like, who the hell is gonna watch 4 kids for like a week?
And yeah, I would do it.
It's just craziness.
I mean, I would do it. Except like then that count goes up to 7. Like
If you're like, well, that's a little insane. So, dude, I think it's crazy now. People look at me like I'm out of my mind when I tell them how many kids I have.
Yeah.
But I get it,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it too. Like if they, when they say like, yeah, like, like I don't think I'm gonna have kids. I always go like, yeah, don't.
Don't do it. You're not prepared. That's the whole thing. You're never prepared to have kids. I don't care what anybody says. You could be the richest person in the world. You are not ready to have kids. I mean, you could have butlers and nannies that are going to take care of those kids. You are not ready to have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Well, I think Joe Rogan has like a section where he's like, talking about how fucked up it is. Like, you're like 12 or whatever, and like you just fucking coming out of you. You're just like, what the fuck? Or she's just like, yeah, dude, you're ready to have babies.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
Like, dude, you haven't even decided on a life's goal yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you still, like, probably, like, eating your own boogers and stuff at that age.
I still do that.
And all of a sudden it's like, that shit happens and you're like, what the fuck is this?
That's a disturbing reality.
Yeah.
The physical as opposed to the, mental preparedness for anything. I mean, you think about all these cultures where, 12 is you're a man.
Yeah.
Or a woman,
Well, I mean, 50 some years ago. No, well, it's more than 50 years ago.
Say like 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's more like 100 years ago. We in our 30s, we're grandpas, dude. We're like old timer.
Yeah.
We're on our way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were lucky to be, this old and still alive, dude.
Yep. With scarlet fever going around and shit.
Yeah. All these fucking diseases and. Yeah.
But I think the Asian countries like the Japanese, the Chinese, I think they've always lived to like 150, right?
I don't think so.
Because those fuckers live forever.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, how we doing so far on time? I haven't even looked.
I don't know.
I haven't even needed a break. It's impressive.
I know you don't even have a drink with you. What's
I drank my drink.
That Coke? That was your drink?
Yeah.
You usually have alcohol though.
I know. I don't have any alcohol. I drank it all last night.
It's about an hour 40. What I got.
Oh, okay. It's not bad.
I thought we were gonna have a longer discussion.
A longer discussion
on some of these topics that we wrote down, but I guess not. Which is fine, because it opens up for a good 20 minutes of a random rant.
Well, yeah. Well, before we do that, I think I will take a quick pee break just to make sure that we don't interrupt anything.
Oh, you bastard!
I know we're doing so good, but I did make it
uncut, uninterrupted podcast.
I made it this far, but remember, I did have a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I had Sprite.
So little Winky needs a break.
I was taking the white, you were taking the black.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, we'll be back in like half a second, I guess.
Okay, we're back. I mean, not that it matters to anybody listening because this will have been edited out. So edited. I will edit this out. So I mean, is there something specific you want to talk about? Because I was going to ask you about a couple movies, but.
What kind of movies are you going to ask me about?
Well, have you seen Deepwater Horizon?
No.
No. It's about the oil drillers or the drillers.
Is that the Marky Mark one?
Yeah.
No, I mean I saw it on my list to watch because like I said, there's no restrictions in Mexico, so I can actually watch streaming movies.
Oh, sweet.
without the FBI on my ass or something like that.
I will say it was a good movie. It was pretty intense, like the whole event, and I don't know how accurate all of it is, according to the actual events. But I will say one thing, Mark Wahlberg plays the same character in every movie. I'm not trying to bag on him. I don't think he's a bad actor. I like his characters that he portrays, but they all have like the same, like he's always the guy that knows a lot about something.
No.
And he's kind of a dick sometimes. Or he talks really quiet. Have you ever noticed those scenes? Like when he's trying to explain something to somebody, like he kind of gets real low and quiet, and he's real smart about the subject that he's talking about.
What? No.
That movie might be an exception. God, that was a bad movie. If people don't know what we're talking about, that's that movie, The Happening.
The Happening, yeah.
By M. Night Shyamalan.
You're gonna kill me in my sleep. What?
No.
Oh, speaking of M. Night, he just got another movie out.
Oh God.
And he actually posted his name on this one too.
Really?
Yeah, from what I hear, it's actually getting good reviews.
No shit.
Yep.
You know, that was the downfall of The Sixth Sense, was that it was one of those movies that you're not going to watch a lot. Like, you're not going to rewatch that movie, you know, unless you're Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates, you know. um, you know, it's a good movie. It was just like, you know, like, do you want to watch it again? Not really, you know. I mean,
What
there was so
when
much revealed, you know.
dude,
So it's,
when you watch it again, like you notice that there's the movie tells you before,
yeah, yeah,
like it's just one of those things where you're like not what do I call it?
aware.
Yeah, when you watch it for the first time, you're not getting all the information in, um, and so you're not watching for as much details.
Oh yeah, because you miss things, like you almost like form parts of the scene in your mind that aren't actually happening, like where Bruce Willis is sitting across the room from the kid's mom.
Yeah,
You like, for some reason, the first time you see it, you just assume that they were having a conversation before the kid walked in.
right. The new one's called Split.
Split. That sounds familiar. Split film. Let's type that in. Split film. Showtimes. Oh, I've seen the trailers for this. This one looks good.
Yep.
Where he has like a bunch of different identities.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I heard
I
is
like
that
that guy as an actor, James McAvoy.
is this guy.
Who? James McAvoy?
Yeah.
He played Xavier.
Oh, that
Yeah.
guy? Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess. So.
You know who I really miss in film is Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch Independence Day and watch him again.
I could. I think I preferred him in movies like The Fly, you know, or Jurassic Park.
It's like, what the fuck did you just say, dude?
Or Have you ever seen
He's
Powder?
like, yeah, I've seen Powder. Powder was good.
Powder was a fun movie.
Yeah, I just like the Bloom. I like how he always like he like Shia LaBeouf. Like he just stutters like
Oh yeah, that's part of his signature, man.
But yeah, but he does it for every fucking character that he plays. It's just like, all right, I guess.
You know what movie I watched again, that I still feel like it holds up today is Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, Kevin
With
Costner baseball
yeah,
movie.
I used to
And
watch that movie a lot.
well, I think when I was a kid, I didn't really look at it as a baseball movie, but that's exactly what it is. You know,
Yeah.
it's the glorification of the game of baseball. Yeah, but yeah, and it's such a
I think
corny premise, but it's
I think I
fun.
like the Married with Children version better.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember that episode?
yes I do. That show. There was one episode of that show where uh, so Al was gonna take his car in to go to the car wash.
Oh yeah. I
You
remember
remember
this
this?
one. Yeah.
And he had a brown car,
Yeah.
and like they they
It's like
they, they wash the car and he can't find it. He thinks it got stolen, and the guy shows him to his car, and it's like cherry red.
He just had him clean it for so long that it turned
Yeah.
fucking brown. Yeah.
Or there's been a couple of episodes just about his car. There was the one where he was about to reach 1,000,000 miles on his
Yeah.
car,
They were
and
gonna
then
give him
like
like
didn't Kelly take out the car or something?
yeah, so they couldn't verify it.
So it went past the 0000.
Yeah.
Oh, and they were gonna give him like a brand new car or something.
Yep, something like that.
Oh, That
I'd
was
be
a good show.
pissed. Yeah, it was a good show. It had like many like uh whatchamacallit, I won't say like topic that you can relate to, but just like messed up. It's just like
Yeah.
messed up stuff, you know.
Yep. I always liked Bud's character. You know, the quintessential teenage boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. There was a lot of good shows in the '90s. You know that. I'm not talking about like the family sitcoms. You know, those were fun, like TGIF and stuff. But I don't know if you guys got that down in Mexico.
We did. I didn't watch them though.
What?
I
Okay, what was the sitcoms from Mexico?
well that I watch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta watch The Simpsons, right? I don't know if you consider it
Well,
sitcom,
yeah,
but
but that's like the Mexican culture. Didn't you guys were big into
yeah,
Simpsons, right?
yeah. Simpsons is it's really really big, and then we watch Married with Children, Fresh Prince,
Hell yes.
um, what was the what's
What was
another
it?
one?
Hanging with Mr. What was it, hon? Hanging with Mr. Cooper. It was a black show.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I think
I
the
never watched
only
it.
I watched it, but I don't think I want to mention it. Like I watched the show, but I don't want. I think I don't want to mention it.
Well, what about Home Improvement?
I used to watch Home Improvement. Yeah, so,
That was a fun show.
yeah,
I
that was
liked
funny.
Wilson.
Wilson was yeah, he was the bomb till he died. Poor guy,
Yeah.
heart attack, I think,
They
right?
did show his face. A lot of people don't know that. There is one episode where he shows his face. And it was like one of the last episodes.
No, I don't think I ever got
It
that.
was really brief, but nobody knew it was Wilson. Like you didn't know it was him. He was walking in the background, and I
Oh,
think he had like a suit on or something.
oh,
Um,
okay.
But he was playing himself. It's not like he was just making like a weird cameo in his own show, you know. But you know, Wilson,
Wilson.
and he never
Oh,
really gave like real advice. Like he gave like suggestive type
yeah.
ideas and let Tim figure it out for himself.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good show.
It was a good show.
What else?
What else? No. Yeah, I think this one completely another round. Where I wanted to rant about something. I forgot about it.
Well,
Uh,
rant.
no, I don't. It's. I think we're close enough to our usual time. So we could end it early.
We could.
We could, or you can tell me a joke.
A joke?
Yeah,
Let's see, do I have any good jokes? Oh, jeez. I don't have any good jokes about blood and semen anymore.
remember that one time you swallowed? No, I'm just kidding.
We're not supposed to talk about that, Zumi.
Man. Hey, I found one that we didn't
Are you going
send
through
to
old
the
set lists?
yeah, and I was finding out someone doesn't like you.
Okay, I see it. Finding out someone doesn't like you
Yeah, have you ever had that where you like you
all
just
the
have
time.
like a I mean you're being charismatic and stuff and it seems like yeah, I mean I don't know. I try to make friends, well not make friends, but at least make acquaintances with everybody like I'm usually like I'm nice to people. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you.
Sure.
Um, but then there's like moments where you just find out that person really doesn't like you.
Yes. And you don't know why.
Yeah, and you're kind of like,
And
well,
it's kind of frustrating because you want to ask them, but you don't want to be like you don't want to push them further. Well, I've had a few of those instances because I am kind of an asshole, you know.
well, not
But
not kind of.
yeah, well, it's I don't know if I really care that much. Like after I find out someone doesn't like me, you know, but I'm also not going to pursue it. I'm not going to be like, you know, how come you don't like me? You know,
Why
it's
you
like,
don't like me?
yeah, because I really don't care.
Is it my hair? Is it really my hair?
Well, I've always been the person that like I'm not gonna hate you because I like say you go into a new job and people say, oh, don't hang out with that guy because of he's a jerk or whatever. I'm not gonna judge you by what other people are telling me. I'm gonna let you have that opportunity for for me to have a situation
well,
where you
well,
do something and I
yeah,
don't like you.
Lonnie, but Bud, I'm gonna butt in. Bud, then wasn't that exactly the thing that I did with a certain person, and I got accused of Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, yes.
So, I mean,
I would say that there's extenuating circumstances, you know, where maybe you should break that rule. I mean,
if
it,
somebody tells you straight up, like, yeah, don't hang out with that person, dude, it's like he or she is just trouble. I mean, they're saying it for a reason, right?
sure.
I mean, I mean, if somebody comes up to me and says like, "Yeah, get away from that person," like, I mean, I'll take it with a grain of salt,
You might be guarded.
but yeah, I'm definitely a little bit more guarded now. I mean, like I said, especially I did not appreciate being accused of stealing,
How many
and
times are we going to go
then
back to that?
I don't know.
That is a shitty situation. I'm not going to downplay that. That was because, I mean, it happened to you, but I caught the residual of that shit.
Yeah, and you were in another country.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is happening? Got pulled into a tiny room asking about my association with you. It's like, wait, what did he do?
Was he in a drug cartel? He's like, no, no, no. I guess he stole some drugs. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. It's just
you'll just be angry before you go to bed.
exactly. I don't want to be angry.
Let's talk about something happy. I did see Rogue One.
You
Oh,
did see.
I told you about that,
Oh,
right?
yeah, you did. You know what my friend told me? Like he listened
Oh,
to the
God.
podcast, and I told him like he's like, hey, yeah, you know that comment you made about like them about the whole race and stuff, and it's like, yeah, they're just trying to integrate all the races. It's like, no, like, dude, like if you think about it, it's more racist than anything. And I'm like, why? Well, because they kill the entire fucking cast. Nobody survives, so they killed all the minorities. So that's even more racist to me. They
Oh,
didn't
spoiler
survive.
alert.
They didn't survive.
Honestly, if you went into that movie thinking that nobody was going to die, you're a moron.
I know, but he's like, well, that's even more racist because nobody, no, there's no chance of them
They
making
lynched
like,
everybody.
yeah, there's no chance of them making like a small cameo, like in.
No, he dead.
Oh, so I was like, I told him like, yeah, I haven't seen the movie. He's like, yeah, don't.
Well, did you watch that like mega trailer that I sent you for John Wick 2?
I did, and honestly, like, I don't need it.
I know that's what I said. You know, like this is a hype video.
Yeah.
It's like, do we really need a hype video for, I liked how they
No.
did it the first time with the first movie. Didn't they just have like the two trailers? It was a
Well,
teaser and
yeah,
the
it
main
was
trailer, and that
just
was it.
yeah, it was just two trailers because I just remember seeing the one where they like yeah they kill his dog and that's all you know when he's just going ballistic.
And I think it sucks because the one thing that might ruin some of it is that you know who he is now.
Yeah.
They could have left that movie and just, I mean, of course I want a sequel, of course.
Well,
But
but but they can't make good sequels. I mean, The Raid.
huh, dude,
I
it's a
didn't
good
think they
movie.
were gonna. I don't think they were gonna top it in part two. In my opinion, topped it.
Oh, of course.
I mean, yeah, they added the element of like let's try and have a story, and that kind of didn't work out. But if you just see it for the action sequence and stuff, the part two is way better than part one,
Yes.
except the knife scene.
Yeah,
The part with the
I might
knife,
disagree a little bit.
the part with the knife, I really liked on the first one. I didn't really see that on the second one, but that's minor. That's nitpicking. That's really me going like,
Yeah,
you know what would have been like a perfect 10?
yeah.
That's nitpicking. Like,
I don't know. I think that there's a lot of actors, companies, directors, writers, all them like moving towards the Netflix HBO type forum where they can just kind of do what they want,
yeah.
and Hollywood's kind of suffering because of it. But I mean, can you blame them?
No, dude, I saw the trailer for Baywatch. It looks
Oh
fucking
God.
stupid.
Well, it's supposed to be, but
I can't believe they got The Rock to do it though.
dude, he'll do anything.
Well, maybe, but fuck, dude, like, come on.
He's the highest paid actor right now. Did you know that?
Is he?
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
he's in everything, and people pay huge money to get him in their movie.
But Samuel still has the record, right? For
No, he topped him. Oh, you mean like all time?
yeah,
Like
like
for
all
all of his
time.
movies? No, yeah, that's
Well, I think he
Samuel
has a
still got it.
record for like most movies. Because he has a shitload of movies, dude.
Yeah, you don't even realize with Samuel L. Jackson how many movies he's done.
He has a
And
shit.
like, cause you could probably remember like a handful, probably like even a dozen of his movies. But I mean, how many movies has he done total? We
Hold
can
on,
end,
I'll
we
look
can
at
end on this because this is crazy.
yeah, movie total. He has a shitload. He has a record. I know.
Yeah, he's like
Let's
the
see.
Ron Jeremy of the normal film world. Awkward silence.
I know, right?
Zumi's looking this up.
I'm looking for stuff. Let's see. Record.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think, I mean, his old stuff. I mean, he was in True Romance. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
The hotel room scene, and that was a really, really short. But I mean, it's important. That's the craziest thing is that Samuel L. Jackson has been in all these movies, and most of the time he's not even the main character. He's the token black guy in every movie. Did you find it?
Let's see. Jackson's film have grossed 7.42 billion over the course of his career.
Wow.
Let's see.
And total films? Why don't you just
Doesn't
ask
say.
the question on Google? How many movies has Samuel L. Jackson been in?
Yeah, there you go.
More than 100 movies and this was at April 4th, 2014.
Wow.
And he's been in like how many more since then? That's crazy.
In over 100 movies.
What's
Samuel
his
L. Jackson reveals how many movies he plans to star in. 35. 35 more. He's 67. He wants to be in 35 more movies to go before he hits the career milestone.
Up?
That was my kid, guys. Don't go to bed, Sim.
It's okay. I
There's
enjoy
the
hearing
baby.
it because it makes me feel at home.
There's the baby going to
Aw.
orchestra now.
Try having
Right, yeah.
4.
So yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
Over 100 films.
And,
All right, well.
And on that note, we'll end this podcast.
Okay, well, I'll do the credits. Like always. All right.
Should I
We'd
beatbox to the background?
Sure,
No,
yeah.
no,
I think
no,
you should. I think you should. Are you not a good beatboxer?
No, I don't do it professionally.
Oh, nor on TV. Our bumper music is from bensound.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook. You can always talk to us on Twitter at NBTLT Podcast. Email all of your questions and comments, whether they be good or bad, to nbtltpodcast@gmail.com. And you can download any of our stuff from iTunes. And I'm actually in the process of finding out exactly how to put it on the Google Play Store. So we should have that pretty soon. I think it's pretty simple, So, is there anybody else that we need to thank?
I don't think so. No, I think we've got it covered. I think we got it all covered.
I'll go ahead and thank my wife for putting up with me and this little hobby that I do.
That's not gonna get you laid in that, bud.
Yes, it will.
I can recommend a drug that'll just knock her out. She won't remember a thing.
Is that Rooflin? I use it all the time on the kids. Puts them right to sleep.
No, that's fine. Thanks for sharing the podcast. For you guys that actually do share it, and remember erectile dysfunction disease if you don't.
Oh yes, and don't forget about those pills that Zumi asked for. Somebody's got to do it.
Dude, I totally forgot about those.
Well, this is why I remember, because I love you. So
I know. Well, I think I'm just gonna look for the Brian Redband segment where he talks about those boner pills and see if I can find them. Because America, you're not doing your job.
Well, someday we'll have enough listeners to where one of them will be a nice little drone for us, and they'll probably just do everything that we ask.
Yeah. Oh, and by the time we hit the next podcast, we should have a new president, right?
Yes,
right?
20th of January is Inauguration Day.
So I don't know if you were a fan or not. I really wasn't, so I am glad Obama's out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to be a fan or not of Trump, but
we'll see.
We'll see, I guess. And yeah, I guess I can't believe that fucker didn't. Like every other president donates his paycheck, and he didn't. He goes has an acceptance speech of the Nobel Prize and how he doesn't deserve it, yada yada yada, and he's like, "Oh, but I'll take it and I'll keep the money that comes with it too." I'm like, really? Not even a charity? Like nothing?
I like these little things that you do at the end of the podcast.
Like what?
Is that like your mini rant?
Yeah, that was my mini rant. Sorry.
It's beautiful. It's like not Jerry Seinfeld, but what's the talk show host guy? Jerry. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot. He does the there's always fights, like you're my baby's daddy or something like that. Has like the KKK and a Black Panther member on the stage at the same time, and they fight.
Ollie G?
No. This is a real talk show.
Oh.
Well, as real as you can get. But he does like the Jerry's final thought at the end. This is Zumi's final thought.
Like Jerry? Jerry?
Yeah.
Like Jerry Springer?
Yes, Jerry Springer.
Dude,
yeah,
I can't believe you just compare him with Jerry Springer. Dude.
Well, I think it's now a thing. We're going to have Zumi's final thought.
Yeah, so, yeah, goodbye, Obama. I won't miss you.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss him either. All right, well, we love all you people that actually listen to us, and we really do appreciate it. And we'll probably see you next week.
All right, later, y'all.
Go Patriots.